But not like an actual full-on blood fest. All right. It's been a bit since we.
Oh, are we on?
Yep. How are you?
You can't begin shit like that.
How am I?
You have to begin with a cool like.
Really good.
No. You have to begin with Hello, I'm John O'Caffin. I remember it, so you don't have to. Okay, you know what? I hate that actually. I take that back.
I think we should introduce ourselves. You know. I think we should always. Anyways, I'm John the Ghoul Caffin. Ooh. With my co-host.
Yeah, I'm Quentin Mossy.
One might say Halloween just passed. Halloween was yesterday. Don't mean to date this podcast, but you know, we're a bit of slackers. It's fine.
What? Wait, what day is it?
It's Tuesday.
Oh.
Like this literally comes out tomorrow.
Oh.
How was your Halloween? You had more going on, like Halloween wise.
I guess, yeah. To be fair, all the Halloween stuff happened like days before the event itself. I went to a few parties. I dressed up. I was Lord Farquaad.
It was very good. Maybe I'll throw in a picture.
Yeah. And Halloween Day itself, stuff happened.
Yeah.
Halloween Day itself for me, honestly, it didn't feel like Halloween Day itself. It just felt like the end of a month and the end of a chapter in my long life.
Yeah. That's nice. I did nothing. I worked, painted my face green, wore a suit. That was it. That was my Halloween. I literally didn't do anything until the day.
Yeah.
Of Halloween. We didn't even watch anything scary. We didn't watch anything spooky.
Nope. I did not watch a single scary movie.
Unless you count. No, I don't even think.
What? What are you saying?
Well, I thought it would be over there, but I don't remember what it was. I thought we did watch a movie that was like thriller-y, but I was wrong. I might be wrong.
You probably are, yeah.
Let's just watch. We should have watched Multiverse of Madness. That would.
The only thrillery movie we've seen recently in the month of October was Black Adam.
I feel like there's not even much to say about that.
Yeah. The only thing I can say about Black Adam is don't
watch it.
Yeah,
it's not really worth it.
Which isn't a surprise. Dwayne Johnson starring in another fucking half-star movie. So there you go.
Yeah, I give it like a 1.5. It's no Morbius to me. Morbius, I actually did give half a star.
I think it's Morbius tier for me.
Really?
It is really fucking.
I didn't think it was as boring as Morbius.
It's not as boring as Morbius, but it's fucking stupider than Morbius.
We're talking
and
about
Morbius
Black
is already
Adam
stupid as shit. But Black Adam is actually genuinely has some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Like, without a doubt. Like, it tries to be crazy, but it doesn't succeed because it also tries to be so serious. Yes. Which is, I don't even know what went on in their minds.
And it was so non-stop. Like, there was no breaks, it felt.
It felt like the best description I saw of it was, it felt like a movie clip, all scenes compilation of Black Adam.
Do you know how long of a movie it was?
Yeah, it was 2 hours and like 9 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's what I expect. Unfortunately, it could have been an hour and a half and like just as bad, but wasted less of my time.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, I don't want to talk about Black Adam.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with moving on. Especially when Morbius is brought into a conversation, that's when you know it needs to come to a close.
When Morbius is brought into a conversation, seriously, that's when you know it's not
Mhm.
worth discussion.
I still, I, well, I hate that we're on Morbius because I was working with someone who genuinely didn't know who Morbius was or what it was, and we had to fill them in on it, and it was really disappointing. But that actually blew my mind.
Yeah, like, wait, you don't know Morbius?
The movie's so good they had to bring it back to theaters to absolutely bomb at the box office yet again. That's one of the funniest things the fans did.
What? I don't know. What's the news? Let's talk about news.
There's
Stuff happens, man.
What kind of news you thinking? Because
I don't know.
there's always so much stuff that I think of prior that just leaves my mind. And I know it's like that's why it's good to write stuff down, but they're not usually topics. It's just little things to go off of.
I don't want to be like a news person who's like, oh, this happened in the world, and then this happened, and then this happened, and let's give our opinions. Because, like, I don't give it. Nobody should want my opinions on things that go on in the world, you know? Because everyone's opinion is pointless and countless and shit. Like, I don't want to hear what some random person thoughts are on, like, the fucking Bulgaria crisis, you know?
I don't know a lot about what's going on in other countries, I won't lie. I'm a little, I won't lie, I'm pretty ignorant to world events. And I think the more I think about it, the more I realize that like majority of people are.
Oh
and
my god!
I don't
of course.
I don't
Yeah.
even mean people who straight up ignore it.
People
I do
who
mean people who talk about it.
Yeah, because I feel
end
like
up
the
being
people
ignorant.
who not really necessarily ignore it, but more know about it, and don't talk about it. That's kind of how it should be. But like, I don't mean that in like a we shouldn't be talking about events. I mean that more in like a way of it's like, yeah, I don't know enough about this, so I'm not going to talk about it, and that's smart, you know?
Well, I get that. But I want to talk about the overall idea of it. I think because I feel like there's no winning. I feel like there's no winning with if you are passionate or something about a crisis going on, you want to spread awareness. That is great. I think that is great. The problem with doing that isn't it itself, like doing it, the action of doing it. It's people. It's people because they have short attention spans or a new thing happens.
Yeah.
Like either people will move on or they're questioning why you're still stuck on this past issue.
Yeah, without a doubt, my least favorite thing about the combination of social media and news is the short attention span. Like, every time something really fucking big happens, or just big in general, like, everyone talks about it, right? And then, you know, because the world moves and the world goes at a quick pace, time doesn't freeze.
Yeah.
Another thing happens, like days or weeks later, that become the new giant focal point, and everyone focuses on that and instantly moves on. Meanwhile, there's still genocide happening in China.
Oh, there's so
with
much
against
happening.
the Muslims there. There is still fucking, you know, there's countless issues that are just pushed aside in terms of different newer issues because people, yeah, like you said, there is no winning for it. And not only that, but I hate to say it, I think some issues are more important than other ones. Like, I think every single issue is important to individual people, but I do think that, for example, a literal Holocaust that's happening right now is kind of a major fucking thing that nobody talks about for some reason.
Yeah.
And like, and that is more important than a lot of other issues that are happening. Not that we should like not talk about those. It's more just like this should be our priority, you know?
Yeah.
Same with world hunger and world poverty. And of course fucking climate change, which is
Climate
without a
change.
doubt the most important issue, because that literally is the death of the entire human race. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter all of our internal strifing and shit. The fact that we have accepted, we
Yeah.
just have accepted it, is literal like genocide of our entire human race in like decades. You know what I mean.
That
Like,
was one of those things that people talked about. It's like within the next 12 years or something.
Yeah.
It will be irreversible, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" But I don't hear about that anymore.
yeah, because now it's like,
Everyone's moved on.
well, I mean, it's in 3 years it'll be irreversible. So like, what can you do?
There's
I doubt we're gonna last minute be like, yeah, let's fight climate change. Like the
Yeah.
people in charge.
Oh no. Like, I do notice some bigger companies comply with laws but like in the smallest ways. Like, my store has just got rid of plastic bags, single-use plastic bags. We're using paper bags now, which is like, that's great, but what's that gonna fully do overall? I
Yeah.
think it's a very small change. Maybe I don't think that's gonna save the planet. If everything, I don't know. There's too much. There's too much all the time in terms of climate change that
Yeah.
little thing people can't do nothing because we make up like 10% of what actually happens. That's not gonna save the planet. We need 100% or at least 95. But no one's gonna comply. Oh, my least favorite thing that people move on to is celebrity news. When
Well,
something
yeah,
big with
because
celebrities happen.
because it's not very comparable, but it is comparable in terms of how much attention it's given. Like, there's all this horrific shit going on, all these genocides, all these issues about like different groups of people, and then you've got like, did you guys hear that like Army Hammer is a cannibal?
Yeah,
And it's like, yeah,
whoa.
like, that sucks. Did you guys hear that like this new giant celebrity is like a giant sexual predator, or this guy is? And it's like, yeah, that's really fucking bad. Let's not, like, they need consequences and shit.
Mhm.
But if that news overtakes such drastic, gigantic fucking things like climate change, or
Mhm.
I
No, but
actually I do
wanna-
take that back, because it's just no matter what, there is no winning. There are so many different issues that are constantly so fucked that you can't. I don't know, like.
Well, it's the problem with it's the problem I find with charities. And by that I mean I always want to help out. I want to donate.
But
I
there
want,
are always usually very greedy and
well,
corrupt.
there's a lot that are like you shouldn't donate to because it's either specifically for a tax write-off, they don't give the money to where it's
Yeah.
supposed to go. But there, even the good ones, there are still a handful and there's a good amount. But it's like there's so many different issues that I wish I could help out with that I can't. Not only because I don't have a lot of money, but because there's just so many to choose from.
Mhm.
And that's a big thing with you ever see the celebrity things where it's like you win, we'll donate to your charity of choice.
Yeah, that's
kind of thing.
that's a
It's
if I
good.
were a celebrity, I would never do that. Even if I would say publicly, I will never ever donate to charity. I will never support charity. I actively want charities to fail, and I want more orphans in the world. That's what I
Wow.
want.
Wait, so you're anti-orphan charities specifically?
I feel like they're just too mainstream. I feel like they're the go-to charity. When I think of charity, I think of orphans. And
I think
like,
it's
you know,
kids.
I like, orphans are great and all, but pfft,
They're all right.
like, I'm not gonna give money to every kid I see.
Good point. Fair point. They with charities. Oh, I don't remember what I was saying. It's just tough. It's just tough. Oh, with the celebrity ones, especially with donating to a certain one, I always wonder if they are for those charities. Like, it's great if they're an advocate
Probably
and
not.
they look into them,
I mean,
or if they're just like,
sometimes, yeah.
I know this is a good one, because that can be, and it's one of those where it's like, also with charities, it is giving money, so it's like, is there a capacity to how much, or is it a continuous fund? Because there are more popular ones than others, like breast cancer, Make-A-Wish.
Mhm.
Those make a lot of money, but then you get other ones that's like certain crises in the world, and those ones only make money when they're a trend.
Yeah. Oh,
When they're a
yeah,
huge
because
trend.
I feel like since there is so much shit that always goes on, you kind of have to make your tragedy a trend in
Mhm.
order to help it out, because you have to appeal to that dumbass idiot crowd who
Yeah.
who literally need just fucking the most bare bones information, the most
Mhm.
dumbing down the topic itself. I feel like so many topics as well are just horribly dumbed down because all these issues are very third dimensional. There are always sides to stories, and you can't just be like, no, this side is wrong, this side is right, because
Mhm.
life does not work that way. Every single side believes they are on the right side. So you can't devalue another side. You have to have genuine points in favor of it, and you can't expect to change people's minds, but you should
No.
you should try to always have a conversation about it. And that's how you can actually change people's views at times,
Mhm.
because people do change views, at least if you are like an open-minded individual, which honestly not a lot of people in the world are.
No.
But it's just like,
Well, to change, like going person to person is great to make that small little difference. Because going broad and making a post about it,
yeah,
some people might
posts-
look into it,
see,
but you're not actually talking about it.
that's usually my issue with a lot of
Mhm.
things online, issues online, is posts are made about it that really just this issue is sentenced down to like 2 or 3 sentences pretty
Yeah.
much. And
Well, it's like
it really kind of, I know that people don't have the time or the fucking like want to know it, but that does kind of change if you actually know about a topic or not, because you can't look at a fucking post somebody put on their story, see this information and be like, oh yeah, I support it, or I don't, or I agree, or I don't.
Yeah.
You need to actually do genuine research, and you can't let that one fucking post that usually is biased change your mind.
Well, they're usually like PowerPoint presentations.
They are.
Without the explainer. Because PowerPoint, yeah, sure, you know,
They're like
you
TED
give
Talks.
The basics.
They're like TED Talks, but without the presenter, and
Yeah.
reduced to
Just spark notes.
five sentences compared to like a fucking hour of talking.
Yeah.
Which, like,
If-
honestly, TED Talks are pretty good, I think.
They are.
Like, they are genuine presentations about,
Mhm.
like, issues and anything.
you can learn
that-
a lot.
Usually, of course, every single point of view will be biased, but it's about,
That's not
kind of-
true. There can be very unbiased points of view.
there can, but I mean,
But
inherently, like, there is bias for individual people.
It
Like-
depends. Depends on what they're talking about. Because there are some things that can go, like, especially from an outside perspective, I feel is the easiest to get an unbiased kind of opinion. But it also comes down to whether or not you trust that they're being unbiased, if it is an individual. Because they can make great points about both sides of something, and it could seem unbiased, but they could still be leaning towards one way. You just wouldn't know. You'd have to trust whether or not they are.
Yeah.
Like, I personally think in certain situations, personal conflicts, I can be unbiased, but it might not. I don't know if it would ever come off that way because I am an individual.
Yeah. Like, there's different ways to portray it, and
Mhm.
usually you do need to try to be as unbiased while recognizing that you are and making that a point. Like, obviously, I support this, and but being like, but I support this, but I'm trying to understand other points of views, and I'm trying to see where you come from, because that is kind of how you resolve issues. That's how you create less conflict. And the people who create conflict are the ones who can't accept other points of views or won't allow themselves to be like, yeah, no, I was wrong. Or they need to be open to different points, different sides, and accept that. That's probably the biggest thing, is accepting it.
But that's how, what I, with big issues, like even wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how both sides think they're doing the right thing, because one side probably just thinks like, yeah, we want more land or something. The other part is defending their land. And it's one of those things where, sure, I can see where this side is coming from, but
Yeah.
I don't have to accept it because it's horrible.
Okay. I wasn't really talking about stuff like that, because, like, yeah, when it comes to like that, it's like,
but doesn't mean
one
that...
side, in my opinion, one side is very much in the right.
Mm-hmm.
They both, obviously, it's war, so both sides will do terrible things, but one side has more of a better reason. But that's more of like a war thing. Like, war is a very
war has no winners.
War is kind of like there's already physical fighting, you know?
Yeah.
I'm talking kind of about the stuff that can be already talked, or that aren't. I don't even know, man. I don't know.
I know for
everything. I don't know anything.
I understand for like personal one-on-ones or just little groups of people.
I was kind of talking about
that makes
personal
it is like, you should be able to, as long as, you know, once again, they're not being horrible and taking away the rights of people. And by that I mean like taking away rights from people.
Yeah. Like, every single person should be given, regardless of their race, gender, identity, political alignment, they should be given a chance.
Yeah.
And or they should be seen as, like, we are all humans. So if we devalue another human, if we think of other people as genuine monsters without a soul and stuff like that, even if they are fucking horrific people, I don't think that is right. Me personally, I think you're not the same as them, but you are feeding into that mentality that does not help and isn't about help. Instead, it's about creating conflict as well.
I think you should always find out why the other side is as they are, because then that does help you get a better understanding, and that does let you form whether or not like you can accept it. Because obviously I feel like I don't know, it's tough. I feel like I personally draw a line somewhere. I just don't know where that line is.
I draw lines. It's just like, I'm like, at a certain point it's like, okay, I know that we won't be able to agree, and this is very big for me, so I can't be around you.
Yeah.
And then I'll just nuke you from the other side of the world.
Yeah. But that's a good point, because that's also part of it, is if it just comes down to like whether or not you want to find out if you like the person or hang out with them, or if you want to be friends with them, then it does come down to a lot of just understanding. Because it's like, I understand what you're doing it's not like horrible, but it's not something I agree with.
Yeah.
So don't want to be around that, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I could go on and on about it, but
there's a lot to talk about with that.
But
it's just about being open. Just about being open. That goes for the other side too, of course. If you can talk to them and be civil and try to find out why they are doing the way they are or whatever, and it's not peaceful on their side or something, it's like obviously that's gonna make me take a step back. But if they're not giving me the same respect that I'm trying to give to them, even though I don't respect them, then that's what makes it tough. That's what makes it impossible, actually, when they're literally blocking their own mind from like letting them have more of an opinion. It's like they have a set in stone mindset. That's when it's bad.
Let's talk about cowboys.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
What about them?
I think they're really cool.
They're pretty cool. I like them. I like their outfits a lot.
I
They got fun.
I love cowboys so goddamn much. I think the Western era is so there's so much involved. There's so much. It's really deep to me. The Western era is super deep because on one hand it is very stylish. By the way, I'm talking about like Western media, Western movies, not Western media like fucking like Family Guy.
Yeah.
Western media like westerns,
like Old
you know?
West.
Yeah, Old West shit. But it's not only is it technically stylish and the music is fucking amazing and the costumes and the scenery are fucking amazing, but speaking on the emotional side, there's so much like race issues that really like it's about race a lot, and it's about kind of like the turmoil of different races and stuff, and the horrific shit. And like, because that is, you know, a big era where fucking awful stuff happened to specific people. And a lot of like even gender stuff, and I just feel like Westerns have so much fucking impact. Oh my god, the like progression of civilization is a giant one as well, like with the Old West dying out and the new civilization going in. And like there's just so many fucking big pieces that are in Westerns, and I think anyone who does not like Westerns is crazy as shit.
I've only seen 2 or 3 maybe in my life, if you count Cowboys and Aliens.
No.
I might have only seen 2 then.
Actually, I have to count Cowboys and Aliens. It does say cowboy in the name.
I think that's literally all that I've seen. And they've been different. I'm just wondering if like the more I see, the more I'll see that they are kind of similar, because they are a specific,
I think
like a very
lot,
specific genre.
I think a lot of old Westerns are very similar, but I do think a lot of kind of more modern day ones and the classics are very unique in their own way, as in Once Upon a Time in the West, the Dollars trilogy, the fucking Django Unchained, the Hateful Eight.
Django Unchained.
Hateful Eight, you've seen Hateful Eight, right?
No, not that one.
Oh, well that one's a
That's
very
Western?
different one because it's Western.
Oh, I thought
But it doesn't look it because it's all in snow. Because
yeah.
snow isn't used a lot in Westerns. Red Dead 2, that's probably like the quintessential Western to me. That and The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, as well as maybe Django or Django Unchained. Yeah. Like they're so fucking deep. That I fucking go ham for them.
Westerns are pretty cool. I forgot about Django. That's another one I've watched. I think it might be 3 that I've seen then. Any Western shows?
Yeah, Westworld. That's
Western?
The first season, fucking genuinely one of the best seasons of any TV show I've ever seen. The second one, it's has a lot of mixed views, along with the third one. But apparently season 4 is fucking fantastic again. I haven't seen season 3 or 4 yet, so yet I've owned season 3 for like a year.
You've been on season 3 for... Wait.
I've owned it.
Oh, you've owned it.
I own it, but I just have not rewatched it, but I really want to. It's really good. The first season, at least, is fucking phenomenal. And has so many philosophical questions that are so crazy. I feel like westerns are very philosophical because they are kind of like very comparable to like samurai films. They're very inspired by samurai films because it's kind of like Star Wars, you know, like blending westerns and samurai together and space.
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of the same style and philosophical questions and shit, and it's really cool.
Does Star Wars get philosophical?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, all the politics and shit of it.
Oh, so what is considered
Well,
philosophical?
I don't really think politics are. I mean, they are philosophical, but I more mean like what does it, like more personal questions I consider more philosophical about like
Well, I guess it is all like good and evil
yeah,
and overcoming that.
pretty much any issue in life is philosophical in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Am I good? The idea of good.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that, I guess.
I'm just thinking out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I would never date a homeless person.
Where's that coming from? What? Why? What?
I was just thinking about how rancid they are.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why you would say something like that.
I take it back. I'm sorry. I might date one. If you're homeless and listening to this right now, let me know. Comment.
You know what I think? I think anyone who thinks of another person as what they are is stupid and dumb. As in, like, anyone who's like, blank homeless people, blank, like, any kind of person. Like, okay,
What?
for example, like, I can't, I just fucking, oh man, it's generalization. That's the thing. That's what I fucking, that's what sends me into fucking stupor. I hate generalization so goddamn much.
What
I
part
want
of
to
that
punch
was
generalization.
generalization?
You just said I would never date a homeless person, and I know that was a
Oh.
joke, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just using that as a kickoff point for why I fucking hate generalization, you know? Which
But-
I'm sure I've talked about, but I cannot stand grouping people together and people being seen as a group instead of individuality. That just sends me up the goddamn spiral.
A homeless does mean without a home.
Yeah,
And if one of my like, not types, if something I needed from someone else was that they were living somewhere, then I could generalize homeless people that way and say I would not date one because they don't have something I want, which is horrible. Like, that is terrible of me to say, but that is a generalization that I guess makes sense.
I just feel like I never ever can accept generalization. I don't care, even if these people are what I personally consider bad. I fucking find it just so offensive to me personally to strip a person of their individuality and just group them and assume that it really fucking pisses me off. I hate generalization so goddamn much, man. I could do a TED Talk, a 90-hour long TED Talk about how much I fucking hate that.
I'm just trying to think of anything that can contradict you, because the only things I think about are generalization through the eyes of a horrible person.
Really, I usually think of it as through the eyes of both horrible people and people who consider themselves to be right.
Oh, see, no, but that's what I mean. I'm sure I could do it that way, but then if it makes me feel like I'm saying a bad thing,
Yeah.
then I don't agree that what those people are doing is right.
Like, a lot of people who I personally agree with on, like, issues and topics and people in life, when they generalize other people, like, which would support my view as well, I still find it fucking horrific. I find it like terrible because everyone is an individual, and I preach individuality so goddamn much because people can be, me included, actual disgusting sheep who just, mob mentality, and it's so easy to not think about another person's point of view. It is so easy to just think, no, you're wrong, and I don't like you or your people. It's so easy, and it's really hard to support individuality for every situation in life, but it is what I consider to be right.
I think a good portion of the world, I don't know how much, are a bunch of sheep in a way. Maybe not always for everything, but I'm sure, like,
at least in terms of a lot of social media.
A lot of social media, but even like I feel like 50, I don't know, I can't give an actual number or anything. I was gonna say probably more than half the world follows at least one thing without thinking about it in some way. Like I'm one of those people. I feel like most people would fall under that, at least hearing one fact and just believing it because they were told it.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, what a lot of humans do. And I won't lie, whenever I tell someone that's something that's true and they question me on it, and it's something that's like not a specific right or wrong, and it's just how I feel about it, I hate that. I hate when someone asks, like, why though, or like, how do you know? It's like, I literally don't. That's the point of this. I'm just trying
to see your side.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see if you have anything that can support or contradict what I believe, or
even if they know nothing about it and I'm just telling them. I mean, it's great to ask why, but if I'm just talking about, if I say, like, this person's nice, and they're like, how do you know?
Then it's like, my personal experiences, dumbass. That actually is the stupidest goddamn question in the world, because it's like, no shit, they could be a fucking actual, like, monster behind the scenes, like just a rabid little dog. But my experiences tell me that, yeah, this person's cool. Yeah. I like him. What do you want me to fucking give you proof of their entire everything they've done in life and compare the pros to cons, and if the pros outweigh the cons, they're good to me? Yeah. Like,
no, it's one of those things
that actually is such a dumb question.
And that's happened to me a few times where I'm just talking about something I like, and they're like, well, like, why is that good? It's like, because I just
told you. Because I just fucking told you why it's good to me. Like, fuck.
And that's part of the I don't know if that's like I don't think that's anti-open-mindedness. I think it is a sense of clarification. But it's also like, if it's something so personal like that, then I can never give real proof, so why even ask how I know or why on those kinds of things? If I was saying something like an actual world issue, and I said, like, oh, I think this side of this is really bad for doing this, and I feel sorry for these people. If someone was like, why? Then I would hope that I hadn't explained why beforehand. If I just straight up said, like, oh, I hate Israel right now for what they're doing to the Palestinians, and without explaining why, and someone asks why, then sure. I mean, then I can, I'll explain. Or
it's like, because it's like obviously I want to hear your I want to hear this white guy's opinion who lives in Canada.
But what actually would be worse is if someone asked me why and I didn't know why, but that's just what I saw.
Well, that's
which
just
I don't
more
even
of a
know if that's right
on you.
That's something, because I know that is a conflict right now, Israel and Palestine, but I generally don't even know.
You don't know enough information about it to form a solid opinion about it.
I don't know which one I've seen.
But do you have a preconceived opinion on that conflict?
No, because I don't even, like, I've read it, and I've read certain things. I personally believe, I don't even remember.
I personally believe that is good, in the sense of, if you genuinely don't know what is going on, why should you like believe something. You need to educate yourself to know what is going on so you can have an opinion. And even then, your opinion just does not really matter in the sense of you aren't involved in this conflict.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you won't ever be able to fully understand it or fully agree or disagree or stuff. Like you can agree with it from a completely different standpoint, so it's not really comparable. But
you can also like make your mind up about something and change it later. I think that's
yeah.
Like if you're talking to someone, they're feeding you information and you're like, yeah, this is horrible. If you read one of those posts and you're like, yeah, this is horrible, these people suck, but later on you read more and more and you're finding out like, okay, maybe I almost said maybe these people deserve it, but it's more
Jesus
like
Christ.
No, it's more like if it is a conflict and you think one side is more right, but then you go into it and you're like, okay, this side is still
I feel like
this side's still more right, but they're not doing like great things.
I feel like a lot of people kind of don't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't accept changing minds. They don't accept being like, no, you both are fucking horrible actually. Like you both do bad stuff. One side might have a bit of a better viewpoint, but it's still fucking awful. And to the concept of deserving, I don't believe anyone ever deserves or is worthy of anything, because people, it is just a concept that we as people have created that genuinely has no actual merit on anything.
It's what's the word? It's something. It's that exact thing of taking, when you take it into your own hands, accountability. Everyone is responsible for their own accountability, which is what I believe in. That's the deserving I believe in. It's self-deserving. You have to decide what you deserve, and I think the problem is accountability, taking the responsibility, all those kinds of things is all very personal. Someone else can't do that for you. Someone else can't tell you what you deserve.
Yeah, well,
but it's also very, very, very hard to know what you should have, what you deserve and stuff. Everyone deserves water, food, shelter. Hands down. No. Everyone deserves that.
No. Because here's the thing. I don't believe anyone, like... I know what you're saying, but that's just not
That's not even
life.
self-deserving.
That's just not life.
No, it's not.
Life is not about deserving. Like, do I think everyone should get water, food, blah? Yes. But nobody deserves it, because deserving isn't a thing that exists to me.
But that is just... Well, you can take deserving out of that, though. Everyone needs it.
Everyone fucking needs it to survive, because you would literally die if you didn't.
So the wording
I'm not gonna like be like, okay, but you deserve to have this. I'm like, no, you need it to live, and if you don't get it, then you'll die. That's it.
But that's kind of like, you can take deserving out of the equation, but I bring it back in with, if you are born into this world, you deserve to be able to live it.
I don't know. If this baby dies instantly, it's like he deserve to live? I can't say yes, because deserving isn't a thing that literally...
There's no concept past that.
There is no concept past that. Like, it just is what it is.
But I couldn't tell you, like...
I personally, I would be like, fuck, it sucks that baby died. But, I mean, like... I'm not going to say he deserved to live. I would just say I wanted him to live. But that's just how it is.
No, I don't think death is under anything deserving. I think for me personally, deserving is a combination of accountability and self-discipline and knowing, just having that balance. But I think that's an impossible thing to teach. I think that's an impossible thing.
It's a very personal
thing. No, it's a very personal thing. And I do go pretty ham the other way, where if I do a bad thing, I'm like, fuck, man, I don't deserve anything. And it's horrible. Mm-hmm. Does that make me better? I don't know. Like, I don't mean better than other people. I mean better than my previous self. I'm. That's a big thing too. Comparing. Always compare yourself to yourself.
Yeah.
If you're comparing yourself to other people, you're always gonna lose. Because if you compare yourself to others and want to be better than them, maybe you like
Well,
and
I
you
don't.
fight for it. You
I
can.
think that's usually kind of like if you believe that you are better than individual people, I think that is an issue in itself because there is you should never think you're better than someone. It's
No,
just
what I'm saying is the opposite. Thinking someone's better than you and
oh.
wanting to become better because of it, instead of wanting to become better because you don't think or because you want to be better personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another taking it into your own hands. Because your life is the one thing you have to take into your own hands.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like take it. I don't mean like take your own life, but it would technically be in your own hands anyways. I guess you decide if you die
If
or
you
not.
want to take your own life, I mean,
I'm
like,
not really...
listen. I'm just saying that everyone is responsible for themselves, and everyone needs to make their own choices, whether it be bad or good, whether I agree with it or not. It is always up to that person what they want to do with themselves. And I think some people can understand that because they haven't experienced it. Like, I think when you have wanted to take your own life so fucking bad, at a certain point, it's just like, it could always get better, but like some people just, like me at times, some people just, it's too much, and it's okay. And I will always like accept that even if I never would agree with it for other people, but I would like it's just individual choices that people make that it's the most important thing you can have.
It's very interesting to accept things you don't agree with because I do think that is possible. I think it's probably one of the most important and but it's also kind of like it's kind of crazy. It feels like that's not I can see where it comes from. Like if someone does something and I'm like, I don't agree with that, but like I accept you doing that because it's fine. Kind of like not being I'm trying to think of an example of how that would work. Like not being close to someone but telling them absolutely everything about your life or something, and it's like I can accept that certain parts. I don't know if it's accepting all of it or if I can only accept certain parts of it if I don't agree with it. Because I think there are certain things that if not everything, I don't know.
What the fuck are you saying right now?
I don't think I can fully accept things that I don't agree with, but I can accept parts of it, is what I think I'm trying to say. I don't think I can come to full accepting terms if it's
you just need to work your way up to that. Because I don't think acceptance is a thing that just comes naturally. Like, I accept a lot of things I don't agree with pretty strongly, but there are still a lot of things that I don't... that, like you said, I accept parts of, but I don't fully accept it. Honestly, I think maybe you can't ever fully accept something that you disagree
with.
But it is about, but that is how you, but that is how you accept it, I think.
But I don't know because if you could fully accept it, then I would think you like kind of agree with it at least a little bit.
I don't.
But if you
if
you fully accept it, then you are somewhat okay with it.
It's just more like you understand that there are different sides, there are different points.
So I can accept their different view, but I can't accept what it is.
That kind of lost me.
That's like I can accept if they have a different view from me, but I don't know if I can accept the view that they have. Is the
Oh,
thing.
well, I mean,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
So it's like I still disagree, but I accept that.
But that is acceptance.
It's more that I accept
that literally
they don't
is
agree.
acceptance, though.
But I don't fully accept everything about it, is what I'm saying.
But you accept that you don't agree. That
and
is.
I'm just that's like.
I
the
think
one
acceptance and agreeance are like, very, very different things. I think it takes a lot of maturity to accept stuff, and I'm not saying I'm a very mature person, but I'm just saying acceptance is something that I know a lot of people struggle with. I, for some reason, tend to associate with a lot of people who can't accept a lot of things or can't agree or can't accept a lot of different views. And it's always like a big turn off because it is just about accepting that, yeah, I don't agree with you, but that's fine as long as you don't do anything that's like actively hurting other people and generalizing other people.
See, I agree with that. I accept that. It's just I think they're very specific things for me personally that go against it in some way. Like obviously there's movie opinions. I can fully accept that they're different.
At the end of the day, they're fucking movies. Like,
and they're movies.
Like,
yeah.
I might be extremely passionate about it, but they are nowhere near comparable to genuine life issues,
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would I get mad, like genuinely furious over somebody liking a movie more or less than me?
The only thing, like, I get, it's tough again, because it's one of those things where you can slap names on of people who are horrible and like their name is really big within a movie or product.
But that's more a separation of art and artist. And that's a completely different other thing.
Yeah, it's
like I think there are movie. I was purely talking about movie about just the movie opinions.
Yeah,
but
yeah. That's
there
fine.
are things about movies that there are a lot of philosophical and like fucking important kind of topics and shit. That's why they're good. Because if they were just movies and that's all they were, then it wouldn't be as interesting,
Not as controversial.
No.
Yeah. That's I think that's the end of that road of my train of thought on accepting and agreeing.
Cool.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Amazon Music for Prime has improved. You can now listen to the songs of any artist you want, shuffled with similar music. Shuffling Ingrid Andress and similar artists on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Ingrid? Who's Ingrid Angress?
That's the name Ingrid is familiar. That was really
I've never
weird.
heard Ingrid in my entire life.
I don't know.
How far are we in?
I don't know. I just started talking. We're about 53 minutes.
Oh, okay. I just kind of wanted to say, just kind of like a final topic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you crying?
No, but my eyes are so dry.
I've been, I always talk about being like super depressed on on this show and stuff, and I just want to say I am doing better and I'm feeling a lot better mentally, and I am improving on myself, and I feel the improvement. And of course, I'm still, depressed.
But it'll be there.
But I accept that I'm depressed. And, I know that I will always not really be the same as a lot of other people, and I will always be sadder than a lot of the people I've met in my life, but I know that it's all temporary. And since I have, that bipolar depression thing, I know I have my like 2 major lows every day,
Mhm.
and then but it is temporary, and the more I kind of focus on improving myself and feeling better about myself, the less those lows will go,
Mhm.
and the more they'll just kind of be like, oh, I'm just sad at the moment, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, fuck, I want to fucking die right now, but I don't feel like I want to die anymore, so that's good.
That is good. It might come back, but maybe.
Yeah, it probably will. Honestly,
you'll know how
that's
to
the
deal
thing.
with
Like,
it.
relapse is a part of progression, and I'm sure I will have more crashes in the future
Mm-hmm.
and more low periods, but the more I improve myself, the easier those crashes will be, and the easier they will be to recover, and the better I will be the more time goes on, you know? Like, you have to do it every day, but it gets easier.
Yeah. And I know it's plausible for relapses to happen because, these things were happening in the first place, just in general, like full on, whatever it is that you're going through. That doesn't mean you will relapse. I know there will always be a fear of a relapse. And if you do relapse, that's fine because you can just get right back. Like,
I don't think
obviously it's
there's,
not too
honestly,
easy.
I don't think there's a fear of relapse. I think I would just accept it if it happened because, like,
I mean, for everyone, though.
yeah.
I mean, for anyone who is going through anything, if you do fear, like if you think you're getting better and you fear that one day you won't, then it's just one of those things you'll have to deal with then. Like, it doesn't mean that you will, but just be ready in case you do.
Yeah.
Don't think that's the end because it's probably not.
Well, relapse is, honestly, I think relapse is important. Like, I think it's, if you do relapse and you continue to be better
Mm-hmm.
or improve yourself, I think that is so much stronger than just relapsing, or than just kind of something bad and then turns into something good and it stays that way. I don't think that's even realistic. I think realism is relapse. And
Well, I don't think it's entirely unrealistic either way. I think it's possible for people to just go
I
through
think
it
it's
once and be
possible.
better.
I just think it's very,
But I
very
think it's more
implausible.
common for people to relapse.
Yeah.
Because it is something they're used to, so it comes back in some way. But
Yeah.
as you said, it is a sign of progression because it means there was a time without it. That means there can be a time without it again.
Yeah, and that is something that I'm still kind of struggling with right now. Is I've been used to being depressed for so long
Mm-hmm.
that like I don't know any other way to kind of live, and like it is, there is familiarity in it, so
Mm-hmm.
it's more comfortable, but it's just not like, I know I've lived like 21 years of feeling bad like that, and I don't want to feel like that anymore.
Mhm.
So I have to put in genuine effort to, the hardest part is not accepting, or not going back to those thoughts and stuff, because I still have them, of course, every day, because I'm still depressed.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to take comfort in them and to actively want it, to fetishize your sadness, to like,
yeah.
because like it does just feel, it genuinely feels right to me. Like, the right thing in my view is going back to those thoughts, because that is how that is a major part of how I feel. But I know that it's not good, even though it feels like it is.
Well,
good,
yeah. I think the feeling of comfort kind of like tricks your brain into thinking it is good, because you're like, this is good because I feel normal almost. Like there were there was a little relationship I had that was pretty bad, but I found a lot of comfort in being around that person. But most of the time it wasn't even good comfort, but it was comfort.
Yeah.
And comfort is, of course,
and that's
comforting.
why a lot of people like stay in abusive relationships and
Mm-hmm.
stay in like situations that really fuck them up more over time, because you are used to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it is comforting in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is bad comfort, and that is bad comfort, and that's how I feel about my brain. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of it is genuinely, without a doubt, like the toughest thing I've ever had to do in my life.
Yeah.
And I've done it before. And like but I don't think I've ever done it this strongly. Like I had a period in my life where I did feel better about things,
Oh yeah.
but I think maybe I needed to go through the last year and a half of genuinely probably it is the darkest period of my life, where in order to like actually allow myself to move on and improve and
Mhm.
stuff like that, you know?
That's fair. I think getting to a low point does help getting to a higher point.
Yeah, and
It takes long. It's much easier to hit the bottom than it is to climb to
oh
the
my
top.
god,
Like, by far.
absolutely. But it is also kind of about like I'm sure I will have lower points in my life. Or like I will have lower points I fucking burped like crazy there. I will have lower points in my life. But it won't be as bad as it was, because I will have changed my mindset, and I am changing my mindset, because I'm still going right now through just as much kind of shit as I have for the past 2 years at this point. And but I feel better because I do think differently, and I do feel improvements and stuff. So like things outside of my control can get worse.
Yeah.
But if you can figure out yourself, then it will never be as bad as it has been.
Mm-hmm. I, like, personally, I am much better than I was. Like, I definitely hit a low point, and nothing's been as bad. And sometimes I fear it will be worse than that, because there'll be something more impactful. But I guess, like, I think in a way it'll feel maybe more or less the same kind of impact the last one did, because I already had the last one, which was the worst. So even if this one is worse in comparison, it might not be, because I've grown and have changed. So I still fear it, though. Could happen at any moment. But we'll see. All right.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Cool as shit. Cool, bro. I hope you do hit a low point again, because I think it'd be funny to watch.
Yeah, sure.
I would actively take joy in you feeling very, very depressed.
I think it's because my low points involve other people, and that
I
could
guess
very much happen again.
Yeah, but you just need to. I think one kind of final thing I want to talk about this is I'm very much learning about your own personal importance, and because other people have been a major factor in why I feel terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I just need to, and I am seeing that I am just the most important person in the world to me. Like, every single person should view themselves as the most important person in the world and need to be content with themselves in a way where things that happen around them won't destroy them because they also don't feel good about themselves, which is how I've felt. Like, I've felt horrific about myself. But now that I am feeling better about me, the things that happen with other people aren't as destructive as they could have been, as they would have been in the past, because I in the past, hated myself and still do parts, but I'm just learning to view that I am without a doubt the most important person.
That's
like,
so
you need
interesting.
to be, there is good selfish, and I think that is good selfish, because it's not, I don't like using the word selfish for it because it has a negative connotation to it, but I think that is a positive connotation of the word selfish.
I just personally don't even believe there's a single most important person in the world.
Well, no, there isn't.
And
but no, there is.
No, but
for you.
That goes with me too. I don't think I am. Even in my own story, I don't think I'm the most important person.
But it is your own story.
It's just my
it
story.
Is, like,
it's just the life I'm living. It's not a story, it's a life. Everyone has lives.
Yeah, but you are the most important person in your life.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I don't think it's even comparable.
I don't even like saying that, though. I like myself.
You don't like saying it because it has a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of people don't agree with, and I don't think that's right, because I think you need to view yourself in that way in order to have more of a positive spin on things.
But I do have a positive spin on things. For the most part, I view myself as a fine person, but to think of myself as the most important person.
But you are. Like, without a doubt.
Not.
But think about it. If you died, if anyone in your life died, it would not be as important as you dying.
Yes,
because
it'd
you
be way more important than me dying.
Because
when
you die, that's the end.
Yeah.
Therefore, your death is the most impactful because it literally ends your life. It is.
It's not impactful to me.
It's not impactful to you because
other people's deaths are
it's impactful
to me.
It is. I think it's impactful to you just because it is where it ends for you.
But
like, that is the end of the story. Therefore, it is without a doubt, like, factually, the most important thing.
But it feels more like but the thing that would be important, I guess, is if I knew I was gonna die, that would be really impactful. Like, the idea of my death is impactful, but dying isn't, because that means nothing to me.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean, it means good things for me, but it doesn't, like.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like,
if I died, you'd be happy?
No, I meant, like, my own death.
Oh.
Like, but I don't know. Maybe we just disagree on that, but I feel
we
like
do.
I feel like at least what helps me, and what I think a lot of people should see, is that you are the most important person in the world. And
but saying "in the world" is, I think, the part I don't agree with.
But it's true.
But how am I the most important person in the world if I haven't like traveled the world?
If you individually met every single person in the world, all like 100 of them, then you are still the most important person because you are living your life. You are the one who experienced every single, like, I hate to say this, but you are the main character.
Yeah.
And that is why you are the most important. But you literally are, because you are the observer. You are the person who has the thoughts. You have your brain, which is you. You are the one experiencing all of it. You are the one who's the most important.
Ugh.
Everything in life revolves around you. Because
that makes me dissociate. Like, I don't like that.
how does that make you dissociate?
Because it makes me realize I will only ever view life through my own eyes.
And that's why you are the most important
That's why it's
person
fucked
in
up.
the world.
Doesn't
But that's
make me
why
feel any
you are
more
the most important
though.
person in the world, because everything you will ever experience is all through you. And
I don't like
therefore,
thinking that
that
way.
is why I believe it is fact that you are the most important person.
It's like, I can almost agree that it is fact, but I hate viewing it that way.
And I accept that.
Because it's like it's fact in the way of, I don't know, but it's so tough. Cause
Fuck, I don't mean to
almost,
give you a crisis
but it
right now.
feels like it breeds narcissists because you're telling people you are the most
And-
important
and-
person
and
in the world, but you're
I-
telling everyone that.
Yeah, and I know, and that's why I think it has a negative connotation to it, because I think when you hear stuff like that, I usually always assume, wow, that person has a big ego.
Yeah.
But it's I mean it in a genuine, like, positive way. I think there
mean
is a
it in
positive way.
Like a taking control and like you are responsible for your own actions kind of main character way, I hope. It's tough to think that other people will take it in the way you do, because I accept the way you do it is fine. I'm just worried that it'll come off as like no one else matters.
Yeah. And
But that's the thing. I don't think I'm the most important person in the world, because I
But-
think I matter the same as everyone else.
I feel like, to me, everyone matters to me, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't care if this is selfish, but nobody matters as much as you. Like,
See,
without
I'll
a
never
doubt,
see it that way.
without a doubt, you...
I don't agree, though. I don't think that is
even
fact.
the people who I've felt the strongest connections to in life, the people who I literally, like, you never should put your own... You are just... You're just
If you were
always
to-
a person who is experiencing everything the way you will experience it. And these people have like, they should never destroy your views and your values and your life.
Well, no. Like,
Like,
you shouldn't
but I
let
mean,
other
like, the
people
people-
take control of your life.
Like, if someone you loved
Uh-huh.
died,
Uh-huh.
like if somebody who you felt such a strong connection to died, or you know, did something bad to you, or you kind of like had the option to save them with your own self,
Mm-hmm.
you just, I don't even know. I just think that you need to let yourself be the most important person. I don't know where I'm going with it, but I just know that it helps me.
That's fine. And I think it can help people for sure.
And I don't mean it in a
And you don't mean it in a bad way at all.
bad way. I think it's probably the most important thing
Mm-hmm.
in the world.
I think what I'm against is telling one person they are the most important person.
Well, I don't think so. I think everyone should think that way. And
But I think everyone should think everyone is the most important person.
I think everyone... I agree. I think everyone should view everyone as the most important person in their world.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. And since you are the most important person in your world, you need to view yourself as the most important person in the world, as well as accept that everyone else is their most important person in the world. That's the difference between narcissism and the positive view of it.
I think what I can get behind is everyone is the most important person to everyone when they're together. But since everyone individually probably spends more time alone than with other people, then you will be, like you are with yourself the most. You are the only person
But even
who
around
is the most
other
important.
people, you are still
But you're
with
not.
yourself the most.
You're with
Because you
yourself
have
and
your brain,
others,
you have
though.
your thoughts, you have your emotions.
But now it's equaler because you're with other people. So now you are all, it's like an equal level. But when you are alone, it's like, yeah, I'm the only person here. I'm the only person that matters in this moment right now. But if you take that everywhere you go, I think that is what comes off as ego and narcissism. Because now you're around other people saying, I am the most important person. But being alone, that's fine, because yeah, you are. That is your world right there, right then. You are the most important person. I think that's where I'm going to come around on it. That's where I view it on it for now.
Okay. All right. Say something.
Say something.
You have to end it.
Oh. I don't know how the fuck to end it after that. Bye,
All right,
everybody.
wait, no.
Oh.
We need to come up with a little funny little thing.
After all that?
Yeah. Say, what would your slogan be for life?
My slogan?
Yeah, if you could put one word on your view on life, slogan it.
One word?
Well, not one word, one sentence.
Oh, okay.
That can fit on like a ad, you know?
Okay.
Like it needs to be kind of short.
The bad things are there.
That's pretty good.
I had more, but I think that's
the bad things are there.
Period.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, my slogan is